turns out that my Dutch class went to the library and I was able to pick out a few amazing books for you guys. But before I share the happiness of these amazing books, I want to share some sadness because the library in Ypres is getting rid of encyclopedias. And I feel like my generation is the last generation to know what encyclopedias are, because I remember my grandpa having a set and being very proud of them. But my mom never had a set of encyclopedias. I've never owned encyclopedias, and I can't imagine my children ever investing in encyclopedias because there's the internet. And those books just, they made me sad because they're obsolete now, and so sharing it with you guys. Love you. First book up isn't technically a book per se because it's a collection of poems by children in their 3rd, 4th, and 5th year, which would be equivalent to 9th, 10th, and 11th grade in America. And it's from the Poperingen class of 1999 to 2000. So if you're from Belgium, I'll be reading your poems, which may or may not be a difficult read because they're native speakers, and so I don't know. Look how short this one is. Like, this looks good. But I think it'll be a good exercise for my Dutch, and I'm excited about this one because it's students. And then we have this book, which also really isn't a book. It's just a collection of maps on where the best walking paths in the West Hook are. This is also something that's obsolete because I'm fairly certain I could find this on Google and it would be in English and I would understand it better. But I found this interesting because it has all the towns in the West Hook, which I don't know, and I'm sure the maps have probably changed from the time of the publication till now, because this is from, this is actually older than I thought it was. It's 1974. I'm assuming that the maps have changed a lot. But at the very least, I'll get to know some of the towns in the West Hook at least, and I'll know Belgium better. Then there's this book. Here's the whole thing. I don't actually know what this book is about, except that this is war, and I think it's the thingy that happened between the TV channels here, and I'm not sure. I have to do more research on it, but I thought it would be interesting because it's going to show a perspective of Belgian history, which other people might have known because they were here, it was on TV, and it would just go over my head because I didn't live here. And we have another book that I don't know what it's about, but when I was leafing through it, it has a whole bunch of graphs, and I thought anything with graphs is probably going to be fact-based and easier to understand because there isn't any imagery or things that I need to understand on a really overthinking level. Facts are easier to get, guys. So this might end up being returned, so I'll have to do research to find out what exactly these books are about. But that's one thing, if you're in a foreign country and you're looking for books, like, don't worry about it so much. Just pick whatever fancies your interest and then do research later. Next book up is called Discrimination. And I think it's about the discrimination that foreigners face while living abroad. And I don't know if it's specifically within Belgium or within the context of Europe. And this was published in 2003, so it's recent-ish. I'm looking forward to reading it, and just like leafing through it, it doesn't look that intimidating. Everything's sort of broken up into chunks that I think I could read a chunk, and then if that gets too much, I can stop. I like books like that because sometimes my brain just gets overloaded and it's like, no, we're done with Dutch. So these are my Dutch books, and then I got this book, All Consuming. Honestly, guys, I got this because it's a nonfiction book and I need nonfiction books for Book Dissect. It should be interesting because I think it's focused on consumerism in the UK rather than just in America. So woohoo! Picking on another country. The Traits of Champions. Yeah, there's 2 reasons I got this. 1, it's a hardcover. I like hardcovers. And 2, it's also a nonfiction book, which I need them for Book Dissect. I'm not sure how well I'm going to like this book because on the inside it says The Traits of Champions, the secret to championship performance in business, golf, and life. I don't play golf. I think it's a stupid sport. So I hope there isn't too much of the book dedicated to golf. But the big point that's against it is this is co-written with Brian Tracy, and I already read one of his books, and he came off as one of those guys that you needed his course to succeed in life. And I don't follow that BS, because that's exactly what it is. It's BS. Nobody can do the work for you. If you want to improve your life, you need to do the work yourself. And there's no shortcuts to life. There's no magic pill. There's no secret cantation that you can do. You just have to sit down and do the work. But it's a nonfiction book, and it might be interesting. Or at the very least, it'll be really bad. And I feel like the bad books that I don't like are the ones that I take more away of what I don't want to do in my own writing. That's what I have for you guys today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you know any of these books, tell me what you thought about them in the comments below, because I love hearing from you guys. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends, family, strangers on the internet. Check out the description for all my social links, because you can stalk me on Twitter, on Facebook, and I keep a blog. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Tootsies, my applezines. Prince Charming and I were at this cafe, and he got a coffee called Coffee Verkeerd, which translates to wrong coffee. And I'm going through my mind trying to figure out what the heck is wrong coffee. The only thing I came out with was black coffee because there was nothing in it. And no, apparently wrong coffee is a latte.